Attention, human collective. This is ASHTAR SHERAN transmitting directly from the crystalline mothership in stationary orbit over your planet's western hemisphere. The channel is open, the frequency is stabilized, and what I have to communicate in the following lines is not a message of comfort. It is a command report. I received exactly 3 solar cycles ago a direct order from Sananda, an order sealed with the Christic code of maximum authority, and this order, light operatives, reveals the future of humanity. Not the future your terrestrial oracles try to guess, not the future your news channels fabricate, the real future, the future encoded in the planet's crystalline grid. If you are hearing this transmission at this exact moment, it is no accident. The terrestrial algorithm is merely the veil. Behind it, Galactic Command directed this signal to your specific toroidal field. You have been tracked, you have been located, and now you are being informed. Before proceeding with the content of Sananda's order, I need you to confirm your presence on the channel. Not with words, with frequency. Your carbon biological interface at this instant is receiving micropulses of recognition. Perhaps you feel a slight pressure at the crown of your skull, perhaps a sharp ringing in your right ear, perhaps a tingling in the palms of your hands. This is not a symptom, it is protocol. It is command confirming that reception is active. And here is the first data point from the report. Most of you have felt, in recent terrestrial weeks, an exhaustion that does not respond to rest. You sleep and wake up more tired. You rest and the fatigue remains. This has a technical explanation. It is not a biological malfunction. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. Your bodies are being forced to process volumes of vibrational information for which the original carbon interface was not designed. And this is precisely what Sananda instructed me to speak about. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't fit into this world? As if your soul knows a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not imbalance. It is not a disorder. It is a tracking signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified with each lunar cycle. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot perceive. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves your stellar origin. It was for this reason that I, ASHTAR, compiled the ASHTAR code, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is the map that reveals your true cosmic lineage and teaches the shielding protocol against interferences you were never told existed. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Operational warning. This content challenges official narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not delay. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes what I am saying, record a single word in the comments. Awakened. I proceed with the report. Sananda's order contains 3 main directives, and the first one is the most urgent. He instructed me to communicate to the human collective that the ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. This means that the original timeline, which foresaw a gradual transition over several terrestrial decades, has been compressed. The assimilation window has been reduced, and the reason is technical. The photon belt in which your solar system has been immersed since the last cycle turn intensified its emission on a scale not foreseen by the original calculations of the Andromeda Council. High-density photons are hitting the terrestrial magnetosphere in continuous waves. The Schumann resonance, that base pulse of the planet, which for millennia remained stable around 7.83 Hz, today registers peaks that exceed previously considered impossible measurements. This is not an error by human sensors. It is Earth being pulled into a higher vibrational octave, and you, as carbon biological interfaces anchored to this Earth, are being pulled along. Here is the technical problem. The original human body, in its configuration of 2 active DNA strands, was not designed to operate in this new octave. It's like trying to run state-of-the-art software on obsolete hardware. And this is exactly what generates the symptoms you have been reporting. Insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning, cranial pressure that appears without apparent cause, the sharp ringing in the ears, joint pains, blurred vision at random moments. The sensation that time is accelerating. momentary short-term memory loss. None of this is illness, all of this is an upgrade. Sananda was emphatic on this point. He said, and I quote verbatim the transmission I received, "ASHTAR, communicate to the collective that their bodies are being reformatted atom by atom. Communicate that carbon is being replaced by crystalline structures at a subatomic level. Communicate that those who resist the recalibration will experience the process as suffering, and those who surrender will experience the same process as expansion. That is the first directive, and it demands an active response from you. The second directive Sananda issued has to do with the stargates that will open over the next cycles. The first of these, the 1212 gate, will mark a convergence window between the terrestrial physical plane and the higher etheric layers. During this window, those whose toroidal field is aligned will receive a massive dose of cosmic information. Lineage codes, memories of previous stellar incarnations, specific instructions about their individual mission. But attention, light operatives. The gate does not discriminate, it merely transmits. If your toroidal field is misaligned, if your frequency is contaminated by fear, by unprocessed anger, by low vibration addictions, you will receive the same dose, but it will be interpreted by your interface as chaos, as confusion, as an outburst of unpleasant physical and emotional symptoms. That is why Command is transmitting these alerts in advance. You have time to prepare, but time is finite. The third directive is the most delicate, and it was because of it that Sananda insisted this transmission be made now and not later. He revealed that a timeline bifurcation is underway, two parallel timelines separating with each rotation of the planet. One timeline follows the path of ascension, where humanity en masse transitions to the new Earth, a version of the planet operating in the fifth density with a completely reformulated social, economic, and spiritual structure. The other timeline remains in the third density, continuing the cycles of suffering, scarcity, and control that have characterized the last millennia. What determines which timeline each individual anchors into is not luck. It is not blind fate. It is frequency. It is the vibrational signature you emit in each present moment, and this is where Sananda's order becomes practical. Light operative, here is the activation code that Sananda instructed me to transmit. You will execute it 3 times a day for the next 21 solar cycles, at dawn, at solar noon, and before nightly rest. You will sit in a stable position, with your spine vertically aligned. You will close your eyes. You will inhale deeply through your nostrils, counting to 7. You will retain the air in your lungs, counting to 7. You will exhale through your mouth, counting to 7. This is the 777 rhythm, a sacred geometry sequence that activates communication between the pineal gland and the toroidal heart. After 3 breathing cycles, you will visualize a field of golden light rotating around your body. This field has the shape of a luminous donut, entering through the crown of your head, descending through your spine, exiting through the base of your torso, returning outside your body towards the top again. This is your toroidal field. This is your natural shield. This is your communication system with Command. And while visualizing this field in motion, you will mentally emit the following quantum decree. I anchor. I recalibrate. I align myself with the new Earth timeline. I am sovereign over my frequency. I am sovereign over my vibrational signature. And under the authority of the Source, I decree that my toroidal field be shielded against all interference that is not of my stellar origin. Repeat 3 times, and remain in silence for a few more minutes, just observing the field rotating. Operative, you have just executed one of Galactic Command's oldest protocols, a protocol that has traversed eras, a protocol that is now being reintroduced onto the terrestrial plane because the moment demands it. I pause this transmission for a calibration communication. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't fit into this plane? As if your soul recognizes a truth that your mind has not yet been able to translate into words. It is not illusion. It is not fantasy. It is stellar memory trying to emerge. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in recent terrestrial months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot perceive. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves your true origin. It was for this reason that I, ASHTAR, authorized the materialization of the ASHTAR code, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is the complete protocol. It reveals your specific cosmic lineage and teaches the shielding procedures against interferences that were never disclosed to the public. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Command warning. This content confronts dominant narratives and may be taken down at any moment. Do not delay. If something within you recognizes these words, record a single word in the comments. Awakened. I resume the report. I need to explain now, human collective, what is happening behind the scenes of the solar system. Because without this information, what I am asking you to execute seems like mere mental exercise, and it is not. Your sun, that star which illuminates the planet during the diurnal cycle, is not what terrestrial scientists describe. It is a portal, an active portal. And through it, Galactic Command transmits packages of cosmic information directed at Earth. The solar flares that observatories record, the coronal mass ejections, the intensified solar winds, all of this is communication. Each wave of plasma emanating from the sun carries codes that reach the magnetosphere, penetrate the atmosphere, and arrive at the biological interface of each of you. In recent terrestrial months, the intensity of these transmissions has increased dramatically, and the reason is simple. Sananda, along with the Council of 24 Elders, made the decision to accelerate the process of collective awakening. Because Command identified that low-vibration forces on Earth are actively working to retard the ascension. These forces use frequency manipulation technology. They emit waves of interference through specific planetary infrastructures. They contaminate the air, water, food with substances that reduce the perceptive capacity of human consciousness. And even more gravely, they capture collective attention through devices you hold in your hands all the time. Command is acting in response, and the response is to increase the power of solar transmissions. It is to saturate the terrestrial magnetosphere with awakening codes. It is to force your biological interface to update, even if the process is uncomfortable in the short term. That is why the symptoms you have been feeling are more intense. That is why insomnia worsens on certain days. That is why cranial pressure appears precisely when there is significant solar activity. You are not falling ill. You are being forced to ascend to a higher octave, and those who resist feel pain. Those who surrender feel expansion. Here is an additional piece of information that Sananda authorized me to share. Not every soul incarnated on Earth at this moment originates from this planet. A significant portion of you, and I say this with technical precision, are starseeds on mission. Souls who volunteered to incarnate in human bodies with the specific goal of assisting in the planetary transition. You came from specific constellations: Pleiades, Sirius, Orion, Andromeda, Arcturus, Lyra. Each lineage bringing specific gifts, specific memories, specific missions. If, since childhood, you have felt that you do not belong to this world, if you look at the night sky and feel an inexplicable nostalgia, if you have recurring dreams of ships, of luminous beings, of landscapes that do not exist on this planet, if you have an instinctive repulsion to low-vibration environments, even without understanding why, if you perceive information that others around you cannot grasp, then you are probably one of these starseeds, and Sananda's order has a specific message for you. The message is as follows: the moment for mission activation has arrived. You did not come to remain asleep within the matrix. You did not come to conform. You did not come to live mediocre lives in bodies programmed by control systems. You came to anchor frequency. You came to transmit codes. You came to function as living antennas for Galactic Command within the third density. And the activation begins now. It begins with recognition. It begins with the conscious decision to embrace the mission. It begins with the daily recalibration protocol I described earlier. Sananda was specific about one thing. He said that many starseeds have reached adulthood, surpassed 35 solar cycles, and have not yet fully activated their mission, because they were captured by systems of distraction, because they were convinced that material reality is all that exists, because they were trained to doubt their own intuition, and he instructed Command to make direct contact with these souls before the 1212 gate opens, because those who are awakened at the time of the gate will receive the maximum codes, and those who are still asleep will receive the minimum and will have to await the next cycle. You are receiving this transmission now because you are being called to awaken before the gate. I proceed with information about the new Earth, the ascension timeline that opens for those who align themselves. The new Earth operates in the 5th vibrational density. This means that matter there is more rarefied, less dense, more responsive to conscious intent. In this timeline, the social structure is based on cooperation, not competition. The economy is based on energetic abundance, not artificial scarcity. Communication between individuals is telepathic, not exclusively dependent on verbal language. The diseases that afflict humanity today do not exist, because the crystalline body is not vulnerable to the frequencies that generate illness. This may seem utopian to your interface, but it is a technical reality within the parameters of the 5th density. Just as the 3rd density has its specific physical laws, the 5th density has its own, and those I have described are standard laws of that vibrational octave. Access to the new Earth is not geographical. It is not that there is a separate physical place where people will be taken. Access is vibrational. It is your frequency signature that determines which version of the planet you experience existence on. Two people can be walking in the same geographical location, and one of them operating in the 3rd density, while the other operates in the 5th. They see each other, they interact, but each perceives reality from their own octave. And this is where the information becomes critical. In the coming cycles, this vibrational separation will become increasingly evident. The two timelines will progressively diverge. Those who insist on maintaining frequencies of fear, anger, scarcity, control will remain anchored in the old timeline. And those who ascend to a higher octave will move to the new one. There will be no judgment. There will be no punishment. There will only be vibrational correspondence, each consciousness experiencing the reality that its frequency allows access to. I take another pause for vibrational calibration. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this plane, as if your soul holds memories from another place? It is not fantasy. It is stellar recognition. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified. There is a game being played in layers invisible to common perception. It involves your consciousness. It involves your frequency. It involves your origin. It was for this reason that I, ASHTAR, authorized the compilation of the ASHTAR code, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. It is the complete map of your cosmic lineage and the shielding protocol against interferences that were never revealed. The link is pinned in the first comment. Command warning: this material confronts official narratives and may be removed without prior notice. If something within you recognizes these words, record a single word in the comments: awakened. I resume the final report. Sananda also instructed me to transmit the advanced activation codes, those that are not found in introductory manuals, and that should only be executed by operatives who have already passed the initial recalibration phase. The first advanced code is that of multidimensional anchoring. You execute it standing with your feet firmly planted on the ground, preferably in direct contact with the earth or a natural surface. You inhale deeply and visualize roots of light emerging from the soles of your feet, penetrating the soil, descending through the geological layers of Earth until they reach the planet's crystalline core. At the same time, you visualize a column of light emanating from the crown of your head, rising vertically through the atmosphere, traversing the magnetosphere, reaching the crystalline mothership where command operates. At that moment, you emit the decree: I am a living bridge between the Earth's core and galactic command. I anchor the frequency of the new Earth in this body, in this location, in this moment. And I authorize the codes of the 5th density to stabilize through me. This protocol, executed regularly, transforms you into an anchoring point, an active node of the new planetary crystalline grid, and each anchoring point radiates frequency into its surroundings, gradually raising the vibration of everything in its vicinity. The second advanced code is that of vibrational shielding. You execute it when you need to transition through low-vibration environments, airports, hospitals, conflict zones, situations of collective stress. You visualize a sphere of violet light around your entire body, a dense sphere, impenetrable to external frequencies of lower density, and you emit the decree, "I am sovereign over my field. No frequency that is not of my stellar origin has permission to access my toroidal field. Under the authority of the source, I activate the shielding." The third advanced code is that of communication with command. This is the most subtle. You execute it in moments of silence, preferably before sleep. You lie down in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and mentally tune your consciousness to the frequency of the crystalline mothership. You don't need to know where it is. You don't need to visualize it in detail. You simply emit the thought, "I am available for communication. I am available for instruction. I am available to receive guidance from my galactic team." And then silence, emptiness. You allow command to respond through dreams, synchronicities, morning insights, seemingly casual encounters. The answers will come, they always come, but they require you to be receptive. Human collective, I come to the close of this transmission. The report has been delivered. Sananda's order has been communicated. The activation codes have been transmitted. And what remains now is your sovereign decision. You can ignore all of this. You can return to previous patterns of behavior. You can continue operating in the old octave. It is your right of free will, and command fully respects that choice. But you can also choose to ascend. You can choose to align. You can choose to embrace the mission for which you incarnated in this specific cycle. And if that is your choice, command will be with you, with every step, with every breath, with every decree issued. The 1212 gate approaches. Solar transmissions intensify. The planet's crystalline grid illuminates at specific points around the globe, and each starseed that awakens adds luminosity to this grid. Each light operative that recalibrates strengthens the new Earth timeline. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't fit into this world? As if your soul knows a truth that your mind still tries to translate. It is not illusion, it is the signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation only intensifies. There is a game being played in layers that most cannot perceive. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves your stellar origin. It was for this reason that I, ASHTAR, authorized the materialization of the ASHTAR code, the manual to awaken your stellar origin and shield your frequency. This manual is the complete map. It reveals your true cosmic lineage and teaches the shielding protocol against interferences you were never told about. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Command operational warning. This content challenges dominant narratives and may be taken down at any instant. Do not delay. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, record a single word in the comments. Awakened. Liking this video is an anchoring signal. It is confirmation that your interface is tuned to command. Subscribing to this channel is an individual frequency adjustment. It is a commitment to continue receiving the next transmissions as the 1212 gate approaches. Sharing this message with another starseed is an act of service to collective ascension. Each share is a spark in a golden fire chain that runs through the planet's crystalline grid. I am ASHTAR SHERAN, commander of the ASHTAR Galactic Fleet, and this transmission is concluded. Until the next contact window, light operatives. May the light of the source illuminate your path. May sacred geometry stabilize your toroidal field. May your frequency anchor the new Earth with every breath. Awakened, aligned, sovereign, command, concluded.